this episode of UCF Sports Night, it's finally here. We've got a look at the fall sports season. And volleyball season is already underway. We chat with head coach Todd Dagenais. All that and more on the season premiere of UCF Sports Night.
UCF Sports Night is brought to you by UCF TV.
Hello and welcome to the season premiere of UCF Sports Night. I'm Jeff Sharon. Thank you so much for joining us for our first show of the 2009-2010 academic year here at UCF. We've got plenty on tap for you, including a look ahead at what's coming up for the fall semester for all UCF sports. But before we take a look ahead, let's take a look back at what's already happened here on campus over the first few weeks. All the sports are underway, including women's soccer getting the season underway with their first game of the season against Florida Gulf Coast. Let's take a look at the highlights. The first athletic event of the season at UCF was delayed a couple of hours by Mother Nature, but after the rain passed, the Knights started raining shots on Florida Gulf Coast's goal. After a scoreless first half, the Knights ripped 15 shots on the net, and in the 68th minute, one of them finally counted. Katie Jackson pounds in that rebound for the Knights' first goal of the year, 1-0 UCF. Then in the 86th minute, watch the gorgeous pass from Nikki Moore crossing to Andrea Rodriguez, and she rattles the cage for some insurance. A great start to the season as UCF kicks things off with a 2-0 victory on the home field. Later on that same week, day one of the Radisson UCF Volleyball Invitational. The Knights took on Jacksonville in the season opener, and after dropping the first set, the Knights got their legs underneath them and went on to knock out the Dolphins 3-1. Then in the nightcap, a great crowd on hand at the venue, including Jermaine Taylor of the Houston Rockets hanging out to see the Knights play UNF, and they saw a brilliant performance with Erin Campbell and Kristen Fisher leading the way. And the Knights went on to sweep the Ospreys to complete a 2-0 record on day one of the tournament. Back to work on day two, another in-state foe for the volleyball Knights. This time it was FAU coming in, and more of the same in this one. Erin Campbell led the way with another 14 kills, and 4 other Knights put up at least 8, and that equals another sweep victory for UCF. So that took us to the final match of the tournament, and another huge crowd on hand to see the Knights take on DePaul. And it was Kristen Fisher who led the way for UCF with 11 kills and 6 digs. Erin Campbell and Nicole Rydell also finished off the tournament with solid performances. The Knights win 12 sets in a row and get off to a 4-0 start. The first time that's happened since 1995. And the Knights take the Radisson UCF Volleyball Invitational title. Out on the road, the women's soccer team was in Chapel Hill, North Carolina for the weekend to face the #1 ranked Tar Heels. And the Knights caught a couple of bad breaks in this one. UNC would take the 4-0 victory on their home turf. But then the Knights took to the same field 2 days later against the team on the other end of Tobacco Road, 10th ranked Duke. After trailing 1-0 at the break, Courtney Whidden took over for UCF, scoring a pair of goals to give the Knights the lead. Then after Duke tied it with about 5 minutes to go, in the 87th minute, Stacy Hubbard heads in a gorgeous corner kick from Becca Thomas, and the Knights go on to shock number 10 Duke in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Final score there 3-2. Elsewhere on the road, the volleyball team extended its record to 5-0 with a victory over Bethune-Cookman in Daytona Beach, thanks in part to Kristen Fisher with a team-high 13 kills against the Wildcats. Down in Tampa, the men's soccer team began their regular season against number 11 USF. UCF came out on the short end of a 2-1 tally. Jeffrey Simmons scored the Knights' only goal for the match. So that brought us to last Friday night and the Knights' home opener in the UCF Classic against UNF. 11th minute, after a foul just outside the box, Nick Robeson steps in and he rattles the cage here to give UCF a 1-0 lead. 81st minute, watch the gorgeous throw-in by Cameron Cooksey, and Chris Feigenbaum is there to head it home, and that gives the Knights a 2-1 lead. Jeff Simmons would add some insurance a minute later with his second goal in as many games, and the Knights get their first victory of the season, 3-1 over UNF. A little further out west in Waco, Texas, the volleyball team had a trio of matches at the Baylor Classic. On Friday night, UCF fell victim to the host team. The Knights then had a double dip on the second day of the tournament, starting with a showdown with number 24 Purdue. And the Knights really stepped it up, pushing the Boilermakers to 5 before coming up just short. But in the nightcap, the Knights' solid play carried over as they knocked off UT San Antonio 3-1. Meredith Murphy was named to the all-tournament team thanks to her defensive efforts in the Knights' 3 matches out in Waco. Back home on campus on Saturday, football season finally got underway as the Knights faced the Samford Bulldogs at Bright House Network Stadium. After falling behind early, the Knights got a lift from Bryn Harvey, who scored a pair of touchdowns and finished with 111 yards on 31 carries. Also, the special teams came up big. Opening kickoff of the second half, and Quincy McDuffie broke out big time. He takes it 97 yards for the score, and UCF starts the season the right way with a victory, 28-24 over Samford. Back over to Tampa at the USF tournament, the women's soccer team played LSU to a 0-0 draw, but then came back 2 days later and wiped out FIU 5-0. 5 different players scored goals for the Knights. Back at home, the men's team finished up the UCF Classic against Georgia Southern, and the Knights got on the board early thanks to Gianni Piccoletti in the 18th minute. He knocks home this one from Spencer Scott, making it 1-0. Then Ben Hunt would make it 2-0 just 3 minutes later, and Sean Doyle would preserve the game in goal, and UCF goes 2-0 for the tournament, beating Georgia Southern 2-1. And of course, for all the latest news, scores, and features on all UCF sports, all you have to do is log on to www.ucfathletics.com, your online home for UCF sports. All right, don't go away. Coming up next here on UCF Sports Night, it's a big fall for UCF athletics, and we'll show you a preview of what's on tap for the semester when UCF Sports Night returns. Hey, Knight fans, can't make it to every UCF home football game this year? Then the Black and Gold Mini Ticket Pick'em plans are just for you. The Black plan is 3 games for only $60, and the Gold plan is only $90. For more information, call 407-UCF-1000 or visit UCFathletics.com.
This is my UCF.
Attendance, people, listen up. Albertson.
Here.
Barnes.
Here.
Swain.
Here.
Reyes.
Here.
Perez.
Here.
Clark.
Here.
Gerbic.
Here.
Sellers.
Here.
Nguyen.
Here.
Tomei.
Here.
And Miller.
Here.
In our classrooms and throughout our community, UCF stands for opportunity.
Hey, Knight fans, head volleyball coach Todd Dagenais here, and I'd like to invite everyone to attend Volleyball 2 at the UCF venue. Come join us on Tuesday, September 15th at 7 p.m. as we sell out the venue again, this time against the USF Bulls. The first 1,000 students in the venue will receive a guaranteed football ticket to the UCF Miami football game. That's right, students. Avoid chancing the lottery by being one of the first 1,000 students through the door. Let's pack the place. Let's beat USF. Armor up, Knights.
Hey, Knight fans, check out all the latest UCF action on UCF Sports Night. Join us as we recap all the highlights of the week from every UCF sport, plus all the features and interviews that take you inside the world of UCF athletics. If it's UCF sports, it's on UCF Sports Night. You can catch UCF Sports Night all season long on UCF TV and also on Bright House Sports Network and Sun Sports. Check your local listings for details. Welcome back to UCF Sports Night. Well, the fall sports are already underway here on campus, as you saw in our first segment, but there are still plenty of great events here on campus for you to look forward to for all the fall sports. So we decided to put together a little preview of each of them for you, and here it is. Let's take a look at the fall semester here on campus at UCF. The fall semester is underway at UCF, and that means it's football season. With one game already under their belt, Coach O'Leary's Knights now begin conference play as they travel to Hattiesburg to face Southern Miss. UCF plays 6 of the next 9 games at home, including non-conference matchups with MAC champion Buffalo and the Miami Hurricanes. The Knights also play host to Memphis, Marshall, Houston, and Tulane in conference. UCF plays 4 other road games at ECU, Rice, Texas, and UAB before the Conference USA Championship on December 5th. Volleyball is also off to a fast start. Coach Todd Dagenais and his team have a big home matchup with the USF Bulls in Volleyball 2 on September 15th. That's followed by the Radisson UCF Classic, where the Knights welcome 2 more in-state opponents and begin conference play against Southern Miss. The Knights play 8 other home matches in Conference USA before traveling to Houston for the conference championships November 20th through the 22nd. It's also time to hit the pitch. Women's soccer has a couple more games against in-state foes at home before starting conference play on the 25th. And men's soccer has a couple more home tests against in-state opponents, including FAU and FIU. Their conference slate also begins in late September, with the conference tournament beginning November 13th. Over the summer, both golf teams welcomed new head coaches. Bryce Waller leads the UCF men's golf team into action this week for the first time in Indiana. The Knights play 6 tournaments in-state this season, including the prestigious Isleworth Invitational in October. Meanwhile, Courtney Trimble and the women's team are already in action at the Hooters Match Play Invitational up in Daytona Beach. They have 4 fall tournaments, including one more in-state date in Fort Myers at the FIU Pat Bradley Invitational. The cross-country team has 2 home dates this fall, next week at the Black and Gold Invitational and 2 weeks from that at the Night Attack Challenge. The Knights have all of their 4 other regular season meets within the state of Florida before heading out to Houston for the Conference USA Championships. Men's tennis gets the fall season underway in Athens, Georgia at one of 2 fall tournaments they play up there. Coach Bobby Cashman and the Knights also travel to Tallahassee and Tampa this fall, and they host the UCF Invitational on campus in October. Meanwhile, Coach Stephanie Nikitas and the women's tennis team are on the road for all of their fall tournaments, but they do have a few in-state stops in Gainesville, Jacksonville, and Tallahassee. And for schedules and events for all UCF sports, all you have to do is log on to UCFathletics.com. Don't go away. Coming up next, our fall preview interviews. We've got plenty of them coming up for you in the next few weeks, and we kick things off with head volleyball coach Todd Dagenais stopping by. Stick around. We're back in a moment. Hey, Knight fans, join your UCF women's soccer team as they take on the Florida State Seminoles this Thursday, September 10th at 7 p.m. at the UCF Soccer Complex. Admission and parking are free. For more information, call the ticket office at 407-UCF-1000 or visit UCFathletics.com.
Hey Orlando, it's time to get away with your UCF Knights. You won't want to miss a minute of the action in Bright House Network Stadium this season. Single game tickets are on sale now. Don't be left out. Armor up, Knights fans. Call 407-823-1000 or log on to UCFathletics.com for your tickets today.
Hey Knight fans, head volleyball coach Todd Dagenais here, and I'd like to invite everyone to attend Volleyball 2 at the UCF venue. Come join us on Tuesday, September 15th at 7 p.m. as we sell out the venue again, this time against the USF Bulls. The first 1,000 students in the venue will receive a guaranteed football ticket to the UCF Miami football game. That's right, students. Avoid chancing the lottery by being one of the first 1,000 students through the door. Let's pack the place. Let's beat USF. Armor up, Knights.
Welcome back to UCF Sports Night. Time to start our fall sport previews, and we're talking with every coach from the fall sports. And joining us now in our first show is head coach Todd Dagenais of the UCF volleyball team. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing really well. Thank you.
Welcome aboard once again, joining us to start off the year. And you guys have gotten off to a great start so far.
Well, so far so good. You know, we've played 5 matches. We have 5 wins, and I think on paper that's pretty good. But I think like anything else, you're hearing us talk about it a lot, where it's really more a matter of the process that we're doing right now that has led to those 5 wins. And right now we're just focusing on all of our little 4 axioms that we go into matches with. We want to serve tough, we want to pass well, we want to dig to kill, and we want to be low air. We do those things and we'll be able to have some more wins out there on the horizon. One
of the big keys to those first 5 wins, especially the first 4 at home, great crowds coming out to the venue.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, marketing has done a fantastic job this year. And, you know, Rowdy Knights approached me earlier in the year and said, hey, you know, we think we want to start coming to volleyball matches. What do we need to do? And so we had meetings with them, and all of a sudden the students start showing up. And when the students show up and the band shows up and the cheerleaders are there, the cheerleaders have been, you know, some of our most loyal fans. And all of a sudden that turned into a really great environment over the weekend. And we're looking forward to seeing how that builds up, because if we can start packing in 400, 500, 600 students a match, that place is going to be really tough to play.
Yeah, I know it was for some of the other teams that came in. Now let's talk about what's going on the court. The team is really led this year by the 2 seniors, Andy Youngblood and Aaron Campbell. How key have they been to molding this team to what you see this season?
Well, when you have 8 new people on your roster, that's a whole lot of new change going on, and you still have to find a way to cement the foundation that we put in place last year. And the only way that gets taught to the new group is through the seniors who've been through it and have the maturity to lead. And they've just done a fantastic job molding and shaping these new players. But I think the new players have done a great job of being molded and shaped, because they're very willing participants in what we're trying to do here, and they're hungry and they're eager, and it's pretty easy to lead those type of people. But those 2 seniors sure are doing a great job. And you've gotten good contributions from those newcomers as well. People like Meredith Murphy have come in and been very, very solid. Nicole Rydell as well. Yeah, well, those are 2 people there you mentioned that have played very high-level club volleyball in the USA volleyball system, and you know, they're playing with and against some of the nation's elite players. And Meredith just was unflappable. She went right out there as a freshman and just started playing volleyball. She doesn't think of it as college volleyball or NCAA volleyball. She's just playing volleyball. You know, and Nicole Rydell is such a stable person on the floor, very confident, just kind of this quiet warrior. And she stepped right in right away and has had no issues adjusting to the speed of the college game, and is actually prospering way beyond her years already. Really, some of those returnees are kind of like having newcomers, because they didn't have too big of a role last year, but this year they've stepped up big time. People like Kristen Fisher and Sarah Rex have really stepped up for you. Right, well, Andy's now stepped into a 5-1 offense. Last year she sat the backside of a 6-2, and so now she's pretty much setting full-time on the floor running the offense. And you're right, Kristen Fisher last year was very much a role player for us. She came in as a middle, and then we started experimenting on the outside, and all of a sudden here she is doing real well as a starter on the outside. And of course, Sarah Rex now has moved into the middle permanently, and is just doing a great job defensively, and now her offensive numbers are starting to come up, and she's being really productive. Goals for the season this year, tell me what you want to see from this team when the season comes to an end. We've made no bones about it. 20 wins, we want to be top 75 RPI, we want to be top 4 in our conference, and we want to play for a conference championship this year. And we'll be checking in with you as the season goes by. Head coach Todd Dagenais, UCF Volleyball. You can check out plenty more on the volleyball team on UCFathletics.com. Don't go away. Coming up next, we'll wrap things up here on UCF Sports Night, including a look at some news and notes and our top 3 plays from the first couple weeks of the season. Don't go away. We're back in a moment. Hey Knight fans, Night Vision, the official magazine of UCF Athletics, has a brand new look this year. This season's first edition is available now, packed with insider columns, feature stories, and much more. To get your copy, simply pick one up at one of several locations on campus or visit the online publication store at UCFathletics.com. Hey Knight fans, head volleyball coach Todd Dagenais here, and I'd like to invite everyone to attend Volleyball 2 at the UCF venue. Come join us on Tuesday, September 15th at 7 p.m. as we sell out the venue again, this time against the USF Bulls. The first 1,000 students in the venue will receive a guaranteed football ticket to the UCF Miami football game. That's right, students. Avoid chancing the lottery by being one of the first 1,000 students through the door. Let's pack the place. Let's beat USF. Armor up, Knights.
Game day getaway.
Hey Orlando, it's time to get away with your UCF Knights. You won't want to miss a minute of the action in Bright House Network Stadium this season. Single game tickets are on sale now. Don't be left out. Armor up, Knights fans. Call 407-823-1000 or log on to UCFathletics.com for your tickets today.
Game day getaway, yeah.
It's a long season. There are Saturdays we steamroll our opponents. There are nights that'll make you cry. But it's worth every bead of sweat when you get the call to play in the bowl game. So for making our dreams become reality, we salute our bowl partners. This is Conference USA. Competition lives here.
Hey, Knight fans, check out all the latest UCF action on UCF Sports Night. Join us as we recap all the highlights of the week from every UCF sport, plus all the features and interviews that take you inside the world of UCF athletics. If it's UCF sports, it's on UCF Sports Night. You can catch UCF Sports Night all season long on UCF TV and also on Bright House Sports Network and Sun Sports. Check your local listings for details. Welcome back to UCF Sports Night. We'll show you our top 3 plays from the first few weeks here at UCF Athletics in a few moments. But first, let's take a look at some news and notes from the start of the year. Both of UCF's senior volleyball players took home some hardware from the first week of the season. First, Erin Campbell was named the most valuable player of the Radisson UCF Invitational. She totaled 50 kills for the weekend, leading the Knights to a 4-0 record and the tournament championship. And Andy Youngblood was named Conference USA's Setter of the Week for her performance at the Invitational. The senior from Castle Rock, Colorado racked up 151 assists, 23 digs, and 6 blocks over the weekend. Both seniors helped the Knights to their first 4-0 start in 14 seasons. And the UCF baseball team has announced its first recruiting class under head coach Terry Rooney. The Knights welcomed 21 new players for the 2010 season, 18 of them from within the state of Florida. Of the 21, 11 are pitchers, including 4 left-handers, and 10 are listed as position players. The Knights begin their second season under Coach Rooney later this spring. Time now for our Sports Night plays of the week. Play number 3, football against Samford at Bright House Network Stadium. And folks, this is how you come out of the locker room after the half. Quincy McDuffie, the freshman from Edgewater High School right here in Orlando, busts through a seam, hits the X button, and he is gone. 97 yards for the score, helping the Knights to a season-opening victory over the Bulldogs. Play number 2, the other football, men's soccer against UNF in their home opener. Watch this gorgeous throw in by Cameron Cooksey, right on the money to Chris Feigenbaum, and Chris does the rest. The game-winning goal for the Knights against the Ospreys as they take down UNF 3-1 at the UCF Soccer Complex. Play number 1, we stay on the pitch, but this time it's the ladies up in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, tied up with Duke in the final moments, and Becca Thomas's corner finds Stacy Hubbard, who finds the net. The game winner with just 3 minutes and 24 seconds left, and the women's soccer team goes on to upset the number 10 ranked Blue Devils 3-2. What a finish to that game, and what a finish to this season's first edition of our Sports Night Plays of the Week. Plenty of action on campus as we look at the week ahead. It starts on Thursday when the women's soccer team takes on Florida State in a huge matchup at the soccer complex. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. and there will be an autograph session with the players after the game. You can see the action live on UCFathletics.com. Friday, the volleyball team is in action on the road as they travel to Greensboro, North Carolina for a pair of matches against High Point at 1 p.m. and UNC Greensboro at 7. Saturday, the cross-country team makes its season debut at home in the second annual UCF Black and Gold Invitational. Things get underway at 8:30 a.m. sharp at the cross-country complex over by the softball stadium. Meanwhile, on the road, the football team opens conference play in Hattiesburg against Southern Miss. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m., and you can hear the action live on the Knight's flagship station, 740 The Game. Elsewhere on Saturday, men's soccer has a road date with the Jacksonville Dolphins. Things get underway there at 7 p.m. And the men's golf season gets underway in Zionsville, Indiana, as the Knights take part in the Wolf Run Intercollegiate. That tournament goes Saturday and Sunday. Also on Sunday, the women's soccer team is back in action with another huge home match with an in-state rival, this time against the USF Bulls. Kickoff for that game is at 1 p.m., and you can see the action live on UCFathletics.com. And next Tuesday is a big night for volleyball as they take on USF in Volleyball 2 at the venue. First serve is set for 7 p.m., and the first 1,000 students in the door are guaranteed a ticket to the UCF Miami football game. If you can't make it to the venue, you can see the match live on UCFathletics.com. On the air, the George O'Leary Call-In Show is back. Join the coach and Mark Daniels as they talk UCF football every Thursday, live from Buffalo Wild Wings in Waterford Lakes. You can hear the show on the Knight's flagship station, AM 740 The Game, or on UCFathletics.com. Also, tune in to WESH 2 every Sunday at noon for UCF Sports Today with Coach George O'Leary, presented by Holler Classic. Join the coach and Pat Clark for insight, analysis, and in-depth features. Again, Sundays at noon on WESH 2 and also on Bright House Sports Network and Sun Sports. And a reminder, you can catch UCF Sports Night all week on UCF TV. The show also airs every Tuesday on Sun Sports and on Bright House Sports Network. Check your local listings for details. And for more information on all UCF sports anytime you want, log on to UCFathletics.com, your online home for UCF sports. And of course, all of our episodes of UCF Sports Night are online. You can check them out anytime you want. So if you want to see this episode one more time or catch any archived episodes, all you've got to do is visit www.ucf.tv. Well, that'll do it for us for our season premiere. We'll be back again next week for all of us here at UCF Athletics and UCF TV. I'm Jeff Sharon saying thank you so much for watching, and go Knights!
Hey, this is LT from 101.1 WJRR. You're listening to the best sounds of area music. UCF Athletics, Access Magazine, and WJRR are proud to support local artists. You can find more great artists by going online at www.wjrr.com and also accessmag.com, and by listening to Native Noise each and every Sunday at 11 o'clock.
UCF Sports Night is brought to you by UCF TV.